Hello, name is Satish Desai. I wish to share with the experts on the committee my views on construction activities during the COVID-19 pandemic and potential for the pandemic revival. COVID-19 has detrimental influence on construction industry in many parts of the world, which depends on their national regulations and construction practices. In the United Kingdom, gross domestic product GDP was 30 million out of construction. This was in the beginning of 2020. It reduced to 19 million, apparently due to the onset of COVID-19 later in the year. Changes to governmental legislation can have an undesirable effect on construction. For example, there is a lockdown now imposed from 6 November in place of the variable restrictions that prevailed depending on the various degree of severity of COVID-19 infections in the country. Construction projects need outdoor workers as opposed to the working at home facilities in other fields. Moreover, forward planning is of paramount importance, together with programming various activities that require execution within time limits. This is in the interest of avoiding delay and prolonging the critical path. Changes in legislation, if they are unexpected, can present serious problems for effective forward planning. Situation during the pandemic. COVID-19 has primarily slowed down the major construction projects, although not totally stopped them. The main reason can be cited as delay and disruption, including that caused by delay in supply chains. A few projects have been provisionally suspended, usually with the intention to resume work at a later date. The main reasons for continuing these projects are construction and infrastructure projects are important, very important for countries' business and other industries. For defense against spread of COVID-19, safety procedures can be implemented. With some discipline, they are there. For example, social distancing, 2 meters or 1 meter or whatever, self-isolation of a worker with high temperature or new persistent cough, site access limited to essential persons only, no visitors, hand washing, toilet facilities, and safe provision for travel to site. Provision for cleaning, eating arrangements, changing facilities, showers, drying rooms. Health and safety risks associated with the COVID-19 vary from site to site. For example, people working outside, especially in rural areas, can comply with precautions better than those in congested urban surroundings. For example, social distancing, wearing masks is easier in outdoor open spaces. The contractors can seek relief from its debt obligation. Debt, they can have financial agreement to mitigate the income that is reduced. The causes can be presented as potential project delays, cost overruns and claims, difficulties in obtaining materials and components, cost for public health measures for containing COVID-19. Everything costs money, of course, social distancing, extra sanitary provisions, etc. Post-pandemic revival is possible, especially in the UK. Construction industry is expected to recover after the current lockdown. provided that during the lockdown, the contractors and workers keep taking precautions against the spread of COVID-19, and that the financing situation is handled with care. Both the debtors and the loan providers are understanding. Everything is done to continue major projects. Recovery will depend on the prevalent restrictions that remain post-lockdown, clarity of regulations, more important, consistency of regulations. Also, some flexibility is expected in review of the special nature of construction practice. If we are very optimistic, we can expect that the program duration can be delayed by some 10% only. Not very significant, you may say, provided that there is no need for social distancing measure. Social distancing could be worse for inner city projects such as there are in the UK. Some rural projects like high speed 2 can cope with it. Important workers should observe self-isolation if any one of them displays symptoms of COVID-19. Potential problems that will need careful planning, understanding on part of the government and the industry. First, workforce availability. Contractors will find it difficult to recoup the workforce when the shutdown is over. The only way could be to slowly increase the workforce during 6 to 8 weeks. It is questionable, however, whether the operative numbers will return to previous levels soon enough. Quick recouping may be tempting, but it may be risky if there comes another lockdown and the contractors could find themselves overstaffed once more. Material availability. Many contractors follow a just-in-time delivery policy. However, many construction sites may start demobilizing more or less at the same time. This may potentially create a material shortage of materials. Moreover, manufacturers will have to adhere to the same government guidance, and they would not be able to pick up where they left off before lockdown. Flexibility on part of the government could help. Social distancing should be relaxed, say 1 meter in place of 2 meters. It might reduce the impact on output of the site. Manual work requiring a minimum of 2 people. They have to work close to each other. It should be allowed, therefore, provided that all personal protection measures are in place, masks, etc. Operatives should be allowed to travel to work on sites that are outside their local areas. Longer travel distances should be permissible where there are no facilities to house operatives close to the sites. Well, these are all hopeful thoughts. They may differ in different countries, but however, I'm sure that you will cope with the problem and get the construction industry back on its feet again. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye.